Alright, how we doing, folks? Your boy Marcos on 205 numbers after the name. I was actually holding off on making this video, man, because I'm looking to get a podcast started over here with the captain. We didn't do it in time over here. I've been too busy with life, as we call it. So I'm just gonna do this raw right here, man. I just want to give some free agency kind of perspective, ideas, thoughts. Just how wild, honestly, the offseason has been for the NBA. It's been crazy. Now, I know that the NBA is, the dream of any league kind of is to be like an 11-month, 12-month league where you're always in the news. And it's crazy how much they still are in the news. It's almost more in the news now than they were in the playoffs because of how, like, badly that, like, OKC and Cleveland smacked their Golden State, the Warriors and Cleveland smacked their respective sides, where the playoffs were kind of a little bit of a letdown to a certain extent. And now the offseason is like, all right, everybody's going crazy. I'm playing over here. The captain's playing as the Celtics. I'm playing as the Jazz over here. And I guess we might as well open up with that, man, because those were two teams that kind of went in maybe different directions. I don't really know where Utah goes exactly. But on the Boston side, I think they improved tremendously. Obviously, the addition of Gordon Hayward, even again, a guy like Baines. They lose Avery Bradley, which stinks. There's no other way around it. I mean, this is a guy who guarded the other team's best defender, best guard every night. I don't know what happens to that when Steph Curry comes to town, when John Wall comes to town. I don't know who's guarding him. Smart, I guess. I mean, he definitely has bigger body than Bradley. He's also probably going to pick up a ton more fouls. He's reckless, not as good as a shooter. So there is definitely a loss with him, but I think the gain with Hayward's bigger. And honestly, I don't think, they've been talking about maybe putting Jaylen Brown at the 2. I think Hayward could play the 2 if you want to get, like, why couldn't this lineup work, for example? Isaiah Thomas, Hayward, Tatum, Brown, Horford. I think that lineup's fine. I don't see any problem with that. I mean, obviously, it depends on matchups or whatnot. I think that lineup's fine. I really like Gordon Hayward there. I think they still have the pieces to make, obviously, one more move. I don't know what that move is. Maybe they could get Paul George now off OKC. I don't think OKC will trade Paul George, doesn't matter how bad things are. So there's still moves to be made with them. But I like that team a lot. And if you go look at it and you say, this is what the Cavs are going to be, and this is what Boston's going to be, I think if you get those guys ready, they also had Marcus Morris too, which I think is a very good addition as well. I think if you get those guys ready with Coach Stevens' acumen and his coaching ways, they could challenge Cleveland for the conference title. I think people are kind of sleeping on how good that team could actually be as currently constructed. And it's cool because they still keep their options open to keep competing now and building for later. So I'm a big fan of what Boston did this offseason. Obviously, when you go and look at it, you see what Jimmy Butler went for and Paul George went for. It kind of sucks because Boston could have given a lot better. I'm sure they offer a lot better, and I'm sure those two respective teams preferred not to. And a big part of it is probably because they're in the Eastern Conference. That's huge. You don't want to see that guy 4 times a year, maybe in the playoffs, unless you have to run to the finals, and at that point, so be it, because you've done pretty good for yourself if you run into win the finals. On the flip side, Utah, I'm not sure where Utah goes. There's, so they traded for Ricky Rubio, which is fine. I don't think it's necessarily the best thing, but it's fine. He plays good defense. He's going to get some assists. Probably get some good lobs over there to Rudy Gobert. But he still can't shoot, so I don't know. The rookie they drafted, that guy's been killing it in the summer league. Was Donovan Mitchell? Dennis Smith? Donovan Mitchell? That kid, he doesn't see a shot that he doesn't like. You hope that Rodney Hood now kind of steps up and fills in. Last year he kind of had an off year with some knee injuries and whatnot. Hope he kind of goes back a little bit to what he was the rookie year, where that guy could put some buckets up. They got Joe Ingles. I think they overpaid a little bit for him just because of the market or whatnot. They were kind of desperate to keep Hayward, so they knew he was a boy. They kept him there. I think they had the same agent and whatnot. So they overpaid for him. But he's a good rotational player. And that rotation's still solid. I do think, though, that at best they fall down to like an 8th seed and they're kind of fighting along there. But they're still going to be strong defensively. And I'm sure they still, even maybe like this kid pans out already a little bit quicker than we think of. Rodney Hood takes on that step. There's some pieces there. Exum's a guy who's looked better. We'll see. He obviously, I think he missed his rookie year with an injury last year. They got like Burke. So I'm not sure how much scoring necessarily they're going to lose, but I mean, Hayward was such a versatile guy for him. He kind of ran everything through him. A little bit difficult now, man. It just complicates everybody else's life a little bit more. Space maybe that Rudy Gobert had, maybe that Ricky Rubio was going to find if Hayward there. It won't be there, so it makes him a little more difficult in a loaded West. I think Utah's going to be fighting for an A seed. Yeah, somewhere around there. How about some other moves, man? Paul George to OKC. Woo! We want to talk about where I expected Paul George to go. Definitely not there. I like the move. I think it's a good gamble for OKC. At worst, you're creating capital, right? At worst, you traded away Oladipo. Sabonis wasn't really too much of a cap hit, but Oladipo, and next summer, you got room to sign a max guy, which is good instead of being stuck with Oladipo's money. And at best, you got that next guy in Paul George, and you could re-up him and Westbrook next year, and you can run it back. And maybe they have some good success this year, and you can keep those guys there, and you kind of keep building around that. So there's some options there for OKC that I like, and you know what? You could also flip the Paul George at the deadline. You know, if you're looking that you're not out of it, if maybe you got an injury, Westbrook gets hurt or something, and you're not competing, flip Paul George. It's an asset. I 100% like what they did over there on the Indiana side. I don't know. I don't know how you don't get a better offer, for example, from Boston. I know you got to face the guy and all that jazz, but rip off Boston while you can. The guy's going to LA anyway. You know, it's a little bit difficult for me to understand what Indiana's doing. They were put kind of in a rock and a hard place, right? Once I think it's a very novel thing that people say. Look how nice Paul George was. That he gave him a heads up that he was leaving, and I was like, yeah, nah. I mean, one thing would be you give the team a heads up to leave, but everybody knew he was leaving, so everybody has that heads up. There's no real advantage there, you know. Kevin Pritchard, their GM, kind of came out and he's like, yeah, this is a tough spot to be in. We're trying to trade a dude that everybody knows wants to get traded, and that kind of everybody knows he wants to go to like LA as well. So I don't know that he'll be open to sign anywhere else. He wants to go there. I kind of understand where he's coming from there, man. So it's caution over here on the Paul George being like that great of a guy, but 100% up to his decision, man. Wherever he wants to end up next year, he's a free agent. That's all his call, man. Your boy Marcos, man. A little quick recap here. Make sure you keep an eye out, man. We're gonna have some more basketball ideas thrown at you over here in the coming months.